And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it. While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. National Hat Day today. Yeah. Not a whole lot of excitement there, although Mitchell, if he's listening, he loves his hat, so Mitchell might be a celebrant for National Hat Day today. We will see what he does. National Booch Day. I don't even know what a booch is. Maybe I'm just not up on the times. But National Booch Day. Let's see what National Booch Day, if we can figure out even what it is from looking at it. Delicious. Well, we start off with delicious, so can't be all bad. Delicious way to celebrate with kombucha fans. Kombucha Day. Lightly effervescent fermented beverage with a bold, invigorating taste. Flavor options from sweet to tart. Okay. I don't know. That one might be okay. Strawberry Ice Cream Day. I'm a chocolate kind of guy, so I think we'll just stick with National Bagel Day today. Yeah, I can deal with the bagels. That's doable. Let's check the markets for you. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 149 points. S&P up 11. NASDAQ up 39. Oil down 45 cents per barrel. 10-year Treasury is down just a little bit. Germany, their Bund is down a little bit further. Negative 0.196 is their yield. They're the only ones right now of the majors, US, Germany, Italy, Spain, UK, and Japan. They're the only ones still with a negative interest rate. So we'll continue watching these markets for you on this historic day. It's amazing. Now, if you remember during the Obama administration, everything that happened was a historic happening. Well, I'm going to suggest to you that today may be legitimately a historic happening. The Democrats won't know about it because they're sitting there sleeping right now. If you check out their stations, MSNBC, Hee Haw, the Cannabis News Network, all they're talking about is impeachment, and they're missing the fact that the economy is on fire and that the president is about to sign a historic trade deal with China, probably going on as we speak. It probably started, I don't have it on a monitor here in the studio. That probably started about 5 minutes ago, where we were able to see what was going on in the marketplace. But that is really, it's amazing, very, very fascinating that we can see these things going on. It's the marketplace right now with the China trade deal. Think about this. Over the next couple of years, they're adding $200 billion worth of purchases. $200 billion. Amazing numbers. Now, we don't know all the details of what's going on in the deal. It's not being released. It's embargoed until they come up till the signing ceremony. But I'm sure I can tell you what the Democrats are going to say. They're going to say it's no good, that it's hurting the middle class of America, yet the American middle class has been doing better than the wealthy during the Trump years. Numbers are out of the bottom 50% of the net worth households. Their net worth is up 47% under President Trump. The top 1%, their net worth is up 13%. So almost 3-to-1 margin. The middle class, working class are doing better under President Trump than the elites. But they wouldn't have told you that last night at the Democrat bait. Unbelievable listening to the highlights there. No, I wouldn't spend my time watching it. I have no desire. I look at the candidates, Bernie Sanders, socialist. We've already seen what that's doing in Venezuela. We've already seen what it's doing in Calizuela. We don't need it for the United States. Elizabeth Warren, she wants to give everything to everybody. I don't know how you give everything to everybody unless we change to be a communist state. So we really don't want to pay much attention to her. Joe Biden, yeah, he fell asleep, I think, last night at the debate. Maybe not. Amazing. But the president, he continues out there. He was doing a speech at Drake University in Des Moines. Oh, no, I thought the debate was at Drake University. The president was out there doing his own thing. He goes head to head with the Democrats. He has no problem challenging them. It's just fascinating watching there. The only one I think that probably got any benefit from the event, and she doesn't have any chance though, Amy Klobuchar. She's the only one that sounds like a logical individual. Just throwing that out there. The impeachment, yeah, Nancy Pelosi wants to get her name in the news because she can't figure anything else out to do positive. So she announced the House impeachment managers to prosecute the case against President Trump. Yeah, the lack of intelligence chairman, Adam Schiff, will be the lead impeachment manager for the trial. We're going to have Jerry Nadler, Zoe Lofgren, Hakeem Jeffries, Val Demings, Jason Crow, and Sylvia Garcia. They will be the managers, so to speak, from the Democrats for this event. Fascinating, because obviously we know that Adam Schiff has done nothing but lie to us all the way along. I wonder if they have to be sworn in, and I wonder if they can be held in contempt, if they can be charged with perjury, if they say anything that is not 100% true. Many of the managers chosen because of their backgrounds. Lofgren has been involved in 3 presidential impeachment proceedings. Now think about this. If this person's been involved in 3 presidential impeachment proceedings, that would be Nixon, Clinton, and now Trump. Now, this guy has got to be pretty old, doesn't he? I'm just saying, where is he going to be? Amazing that's what we've got going on. While this week, the Senate's going to vote on the USMCA deal, another historic deal, unfortunately watered down a little bit by Nancy Pelosi, but still looks to be a very strong deal. And we've got the China trade deal being signed today. Unbelievable week and unbelievable wins for the president. Again, MSNBC, Hee-Haw, and the Cannabis News Network, they won't cover it at all. We'll just see what happens with that. Ted Cruz floats the idea of witness reciprocity during the Trump impeachment trial. Senator Cruz and a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee pitched the idea of witness reciprocity on Tuesday during a meeting with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and other GOP leaders who convened to discuss strategy for the upcoming impeachment trial that will decide if President Trump is removed from office. No, he won't be removed from office. But it's going to be fascinating. The idea would mean if Democrats call a witness such as Trump's former National Security Advisor John Bolton, Republicans would in turn be allowed to call a witness. Like the candidates to be subpoenaed by the GOP include former Vice President Joe Biden, his Hunter, where's Hunter Biden, House Lack of Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, and the unidentified whistleblower who reported a July phone call between President Trump and the Speaker of Ukraine. Be fascinating to see if those all end up as speakers. I doubt they will. In other news, California Attorney Michael Avenatti was arrested by IRS agents Tuesday evening during a break in a disciplinary hearing in Los Angeles over allegations the high-profile lawyer scammed a client out of $840,000. $840,000. Yeah, that's not good when you're out there on bail already and you're out there scamming people. Painful, not a good thing from Mr. Avenatti. Michael Bloomberg investing in getting rid of President Trump. 4 industries that will benefit. In fact, that's a fascinating story. Bloomberg just trying to buy his way in. He doesn't get into any debates, doesn't have to answer any questions. Has his own media station that investigate or media company. Bloomberg investigating the president all the time, but won't say anything about a Democrat. Interesting to see what's going on there. We've got an interesting broadcast lined up for you today. We have got, let me find the notes for us for today because there's a lot going on. Homes more affordable today, not less affordable, is Social Security taxable child tax credit guide. Got a lot in the word on wealth today. How many tax allowances should you claim? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. The replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs, the products. You just need to make the phone call. 800-306-1990. Down payment assistance is there. No down payment for our veterans or USDA home buyers. Great rates right now for the veterans that are looking to refinance. So what's happening in the marketplace? The Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 160 points. The NASDAQ up 40 points. S&P 500 up 11.61. 10-year Treasury at 1.799 is the yield down just a little bit. And of course we have the mortgage-backed securities. That bond is up 3 basis points. Doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of effect on the marketplace. 3 basis points not going to push the markets in any one direction too much either way. So we're not worried too much about what's going on in that marketplace. What's driving the markets right now is what's really important to us, because all those numbers, as I tell you all the time, you can get those any place you like. It's not a need to come to Ron Siegel Radio for that. What you want to get from us here is why these things are happening. Stocks are lower. Mortgage bonds are slightly higher. U.S. and China Phase 1 trade deal is being signed as we speak. Earlier this morning, the Mortgage Bankers Association reported that mortgage application volume was up 30.2% last week. Up 30.2%. Amazing numbers right there. Applications to purchase a home were up 16% and are now up 8% year over year. The purchase index is now at its highest level since October 2009. Refinances were up 43% and are now up 109% year over year. Typically, applications fall towards the end of the year and pick up again in January, so we may need to wait for next week to get a figure we can really trust. 30-year mortgage rate decreased to the lowest level since September. 3.87 is the mortgage bankers number. 3.87 is the week over week, bringing rates about 87 basis points, 7/8 lower than this time last year. Refinance share of mortgage activity, blah, blah, blah. Producer price index, that's the PPI, which measures inflation on a wholesale level, was mixed. Headline PPI increased from 1.1% to 1.3%, but the core reading, which strips out the volatile food and energy prices, dropped 1.3% to 1.1%. Headline and core rates remain at extremely low levels. Got a lot of good information right there. So I'm trying to grab an image for you right here that just came across our desk. I'm seeing if I can get this one for you. It's CoreLogic releasing some data that they have as well. And we're going to be able to show you this chart in just a minute. CoreLogic released their loan performance report for the month of October, showing that loans 30 days or more past due decreased from low levels at 3.8 to 3.7%, while seriously delinquent loans, which is defined as 90 days or more, remained unchanged at 1.3%. Seriously delinquent homes in foreclosure were also unchanged to 0.4%. Bottom line, loan performance remains extremely strong. 10 years right back where we had been looking at it. I'm going to get this chart for you because the 10 years is doing some good stuff for you also. But the idea here is the homes, the distressed property, it's just not an issue right now. Some people are looking at that and thinking that they're going to be able to go out and just get something dirt cheap. And distressed property, as you can see on the chart that we're sharing right now, is just not in the marketplace. And if you look by areas, you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because the distressed areas are going down so much. Let's see if I can get this as a bigger picture. I did it backwards again for you, but we'll put that on there. 30 days or more, you can see on there how that is dropped for the October month. It goes, the latest data available is October 2018 to October 2019. So 30 days or more, 4.1 dropped to 3.7. 30 to 60 days, 1.9 to 1.8. 60 to 89 days, 0.7 to 0.6. And you can see it all the way across there on the chart. Let me get my mugshot out of the way because it is blocking off a little bit of the foreclosure data. 0.4%, very, very low number. So I'm just going to throw that out there for you. Not a lot of distressed properties. Now, if you are one of the people that it affects, well, you really don't care that there's not a lot of distressed properties. It's you that's hurting. So give us a call at 800-306-1990 and let's chat about it. Maybe there's a way that we can help you. Maybe we can give you an idea that you have not dealt with yet. Because as I've shared in the past, the banks really don't want your property. Contrary to what some people want to believe, banks do not want your property. They don't want to take it. They don't want to push you out of your home. They want to work with you. They stop when they feel that they're being taken advantage of. When they feel that you're not being straight with them or you're trying to make them look foolish. That's when you're going to find that the banks will stop working with you and really go through with a foreclosure. Because again, it does them no benefit if they foreclose. And in fact, while it's in the process, it actually hurts the banks. Why does it hurt the banks? Well, here's the answer. A performing loan has one reserve requirement at the bank level. A non-performing loan has a different reserve level, in fact, significantly higher. So if they have, and I think the number's 3 to 1, if they've got a $100,000 loan that's not performing, well, they've got to have a reserve of, I believe it's $300,000 to offset that loan, to cover that loan, to make sure that they've got enough for that loan. So I'm just throwing that out there for you so you have that information. That is the Mortgage Minute, again brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. So as we get into tax season, tax filing season, I know that a lot of people want to get their taxes filed as quickly as possible. They want to see how much money they're going to get back. Many people dread tax season. But if you're expecting a tax refund for the 2019 tax season, again, that's filed in 2020, you've got something to look forward to. With your extra funds, you may be able to pay off some debt, start saving in a high-interest savings account, or otherwise get serious about your financial plan. Wondering when your refund will arrive? Most people get their tax refund within 3 weeks, but it varies based on how you file and how you get your refund. We're going to share a chart a little later in the day, but when will you receive that refund? Well, where's my refund? That's a tool that lets you check the status of your refund through the IRS website or the IRS To Go mobile app. If you submit your tax return electronically, you can check the status of your tax refund within 24 hours. But if you mail your tax return, you'll need to wait at least 4 weeks before you can receive any information about your tax refund. Keep in mind that you can file your 2019 taxes starting, are you ready for this? Are you ready? January 27th. In order to find out the status of your tax refund, you need to provide your Social Security number, filing status, and the exact dollar amount of your expected refund. If you accidentally enter the wrong Social Security number, it could trigger an IRS error code 9001. That may require further identity verification and delay your tax refund. Most taxpayers receive their refunds within 21 days. If you choose to have your refund deposited directly into your account, you may have to wait 5 days before you can gain access to it. If you request a refund check, you might have to wait a few weeks for it to arrive. Again, we'll share some of that information with you. If you don't receive your refund in 21 days, your tax return might need further review. This happens if your return was incomplete or incorrect. The IRS may send you instructions through the mail if it needs additional information in order to process your return. They will not call you. Do not accept phone calls. If somebody says they're from the IRS, hang up on them, blow a whistle in their ear, something, because it is a fraud. What about my state tax refund? So what we've talked about so far is the federal tax returns. Every state does things a little differently. Generally, you can expect to receive your state tax refund within 30 days if you filed your tax return electronically. If you filed a paper tax return, it may take as many as 12 weeks for your refund to arrive. To find out the status of your refund, you'll need to contact your state tax agency or visit your state's Department of Revenue website. When are taxes due? The deadline to submit your 2019 tax return and pay your bill is April 15th this year. Sometimes it's a little longer, depending upon holidays. If you can't meet the tax deadline, you can file for an extension, but the sooner you file, the sooner you can receive your tax refund. The earliest, again, that you can submit your 2019 tax refund is January 27th. That is a Word on Wealth story for you. Again, brought to you by our friends at the Siegel Lending Team. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, homes are more affordable today, not less affordable. Is Social Security taxable? We'll talk about that. Child tax credit guide. How many tax allowances should you claim? Must-do moves for choosing a wealth management firm. All that and more. You can reach me anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Again, if you found your dream home, if you're already in your dream home, text SLT Home Digest to 79564. SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property and what the market believes about your property. Homes are more affordable today, not less affordable. That is the subject of our real-time real estate segment. We've got an affordability index I want to grab for you real quick because there is some good information on the article that we shared earlier this morning that I want to talk to you about this morning, and I want to grab that information for you so you can see some of the charts that we've talked about, because home affordability has been a major topic of discussion. I hear people all the time saying, well, prices are so high, there's no way I can buy a house. And the fact of the matter is, even though prices, yes, they have gone up, which is good if you are one of the people that has been buying a house. Well, the fact of the matter is that they are more affordable now than they've been in the past. So we're going to share with you a little bit of that data from the report today, if I can get that to pop up here for you. But there is a current narrative, again, that owning a home today is less affordable than it's been in the past. The reason some are making this claim is because house prices have substantially increased over the last several years. It's not, however, just the price of a home that matters. Homes in most cases are purchased with a mortgage. Most of us never ever pay off our mortgage. In fact, there are many of us that are of the belief that home equity is not a good investment because it's got a zero rate of return. The current mortgage rate is a major component of the affordability equation. Mortgage rates have fallen by over a full percentage point since December 2018. We've talked about that many times on the broadcasts. If we look at let's see if I have December of 2018. Actually, I've got January of 2019, 4.51% was the interest rate January of 2019. 4.51 today, as of last Thursday, 3.64. These are Freddie Mac numbers, so we don't give you all the legalities because it's just a Freddie Mac website. You can go there. Current mortgage rate, major component. Another major piece of the affordability equation is buyer's income. The median family income has risen by approximately 3% over the last year. The National Association of Realtors, NAR, releases a monthly housing affordability index. The latest index shows that home affordability is better today than at almost any point over the past 30 years. The index determines how affordable homes are based on the following, and I quote, a home affordability index value of 100 means that a family with a median income has exactly enough income to qualify for a mortgage on a median-priced home. An index of 120 signifies that a family earning the median income has 20% more than the level of income needed to pay the mortgage on a median-priced home, assuming a 20% down payment, so that monthly payment and interest will not exceed 25% of this level of income, the qualifying income. Now we know that the income ratio can be a lot higher than 25%. The down payment can be significantly lower than 25%. The graph we have on the screen right now, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, the higher the index, therefore the more affordability of homes. The graph showing the index going all the way back to 1990. So you can see how good we are in this day and age. We can see that on the green chart. Obviously, affordability was better during the housing crash when distressed properties, foreclosures, and short sales sold at major discounts. That's 2009 through 2015. Outside of that period, however, homes are more affordable today than any other year since 1990, except for 2016. The report on the index also includes a section that calculates the mortgage payment based on median income. So if we want to look at the mortgage payment based on median income, that gives us a little more data to look at. Let's see if I can get that number for you because that's another strong component of what we're looking at here. Well, let me just pull in the graph a second time. I think it's already in my queue here, but I'm having trouble getting that graph for you guys. So if you can help me out while I chat about the, I think it's the share, no, that's not the one. That's what I want right there. Payment as a percentage of the median income. Let's see if that's, we're still not getting the right number coming in, so I'm going to see if I can get this worked out for you during the break, and we'll see if we can get that data to you. For some reason, every once in a while, the images don't want to come through on the screen the right way, and we end up having a challenge in getting data coming over to the queue. Well, we'll get that for you. I'll work on that during the break, but I'll give you the words eye view as the late, there it is, the late Chick Earn used to say, here it comes for you. And obviously I don't consider myself anywhere in the category of Chick Earn. The report on the index also includes a section that calculates the mortgage payment on a median priced home as a percentage of the median national income. Historically, that percentage is just above 21. I'm showing you the percentages since June 2018. We're at 15.3. Again, we can see that affordability is much better today than the historical average and has been getting better over the last year and a half. Bottom line, whether you're thinking about buying your first home or moving up to the home of your dreams, do not let the false narrative about home affordability prevent you from moving forward. From an affordability standpoint, this is one of the best times to buy in the last 30 years. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. I wanted to chat also with you about this morning a little bit because the numbers change from year to year, so we like to give you these updates. Talking about is Social Security income taxable? Simplest answer is yes, Social Security income is taxable. Whether or not you have to pay taxes on your Social Security benefits depends on your income level. If you have other sources of retirement income, such as a 401k or a part-time job, then you should expect to pay income taxes on your Social Security benefits. If you rely exclusively on your Social Security checks, you probably will not pay taxes on their benefits. Quick rule is my Social Security income taxable according to IRS. The quick way to see if you will pay taxes on your Social Security income is to take 1/2 of your Social Security benefits, add that to the amount of all your other income, including tax-exempt interest. This number is known as your combined income. That's adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus half your Social Security benefits. If your combined income is above a certain limit, you will need to pay tax on at least some of it. The limit, $25,000 if you're single filer, head of household, or qualifying widow or widower with a dependent child. The limit for joint filers is $32,000 if you're married. If you are married filing separately, you'll likely have to pay taxes on your Social Security income. Again, talk to your tax professional. I am not a tax counselor, so I always recommend make sure you talk to that tax person to get the latest, greatest info for your specific situation. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Child Tax Credit 2019. That's for the current filing period. We'll talk about that. How many tax allowances should you claim if we have time? We'll talk about choosing a wealth advisor. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by our friends at creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, they've got the solutions for you. You just need to make the phone call. Again, creditsanitizer.com. You go to their website, connect with our friend Jeff Sipes at Blue Water Credit. He can help you out. Does a great job for the listeners of Ron Siegel Radio. So let's look and see what we've got in the Word on Wealth segment today. We've got a couple of good stories for you, or reports for you. Talk about the child tax credit. So if you have young children or other dependents, there is a good chance you qualify for the child tax credit. This credit reduces your federal income tax bill by up to $2,000 per child for the 2019 tax year. What you file in early 2020, you've claimed the credit before. If you've claimed the credit before, there are some notable changes that could affect your 2018 taxes. These changes, which result from the tax plan that President Trump signed in December 2017, include a higher limit amount and new requirements for your child to qualify. So what is the child tax credit? It is designed to give an income boost to the parents or guardians of children and other dependents. It only applies to dependents who are younger than 17. The credit is worth up to $2,000 per dependent, but your income level determines exactly how much you can get. You need to have earned at least $2,500 to qualify for the child tax credit. Then it phases out for income above $200,000 for single filers and $400,000 for joint filers. The most you can get is a partial credit if your earned income is above that threshold. As a reminder, tax credits directly reduce the amount that you owe the IRS. So if your bill is $3,000, you're eligible for $1,000 in tax credits. Your bill is now $2,000. This differs from a tax deduction, which reduces how much your tax of your income is subject to tax. The child tax credit is also refundable up to $1,400. That means if you qualify for the child tax credit and it brings your tax liability below zero, the IRS will still send you the remaining amount up to $1,400. Changes for the 2019 tax year on December 22nd, 2017. President Trump signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which brought some big changes to the U.S. tax code. The new tax plan included changes to the CTC. The credit amount per child increased from $1,000 to $2,000. The CTC is refundable up to $1,400 that previously was not refundable. Children must have a Social Security number to qualify. The earned income threshold to qualify for the CTC is $2,500. CTC is phased out as we discussed, and there now is a $500 non-refundable credit available for each non-child dependent. Another big change is that the new tax plan largely combined the additional child tax credit, ACTC, with the CTC. This is part of the reason why the child tax credit is now refundable and why its limits increased. So which dependents are eligible? Eligibility hinges on a few factors. The child you claim as your dependent has to meet 6 IRS tests. The age test, child was under 17, so 16 or younger at the end of the tax year. The relationship test, it's daughter, son, stepchild, foster child, adopted child, brother, sister, stepbrother. Child can also be the direct descendant of any of those mentioned. Support test, the child did not provide more than half of their own support. This is money they use for living expenses. Dependent test, the child must be claimed as your dependent on your federal tax return. Citizenship test, the child must be a U.S. citizen, U.S. national, or a U.S. resident alien for the tax year 2018. Child must also have a Social Security number, and the child must have lived with you more than half of the tax year. Child tax credit income limits. In addition to those 6 tests, your income determines whether or not you can claim the child tax credit. First, you need to have earned income of at least $2,500 to qualify for the credit. Then, as your adjusted income increases, the child tax credit begins to phase out. So when you breach a certain income threshold, the phase-out level, you're only eligible for a partial credit. As your income increases, the amount you can claim continues to decrease until you can't claim the credit at all. The new plan greatly increased the income threshold for the year 2019. Again, we talked about the numbers, so I'm not going to go into that again. Claiming the tax credit, you got to file that form with your taxes. Talked about the tax credit refundable, the additional tax for other dependents. Starting with 2018, there's an additional $500 credit for other dependents. This allows you to claim non-child dependents. The eligibility requirements are very similar. Child and dependent care tax credit, another similar credit, is that child and dependent care credit. State the child taxes, we got that taken care of. Again, talk to your tax professional. They have all the details on this. That is the Word on Wealth segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Question also, how many allowances should you claim? Tax allowances. Prior to 2020, one of the biggest things you could do to affect the size of your paycheck was to adjust the number of allowances claimed on your W-4 form. The ideal number of allowances for you would depend on your individual situation. But now that the allowances section of the W-4 has been eliminated, filling out the form has become somewhat streamlined. Here's how allowances worked and what has replaced them on the W-4, what you need to know. To understand how allowances worked, it helps to understand the concept of withholding. Whenever you get paid, your employer removes or withholds a certain amount of money from your paycheck. This withholding covers your taxes, but instead of you paying your taxes with one lump sum during tax season, you pay them gradually throughout the year. Employers in every state must withhold money for the federal income taxes. Some states, cities, and other municipal governments also require withholding. Withholding is also necessary for pensioners and individuals with other earnings, such as from gambling, bonuses, commissions. If you're a business owner, independent contractor, or otherwise self-employed, you need to make sure to withhold taxes yourself. You can do this by paying estimated taxes. Exactly how much your employer withholds will depend largely on how much money you make and how you fill out the W-4 form. While you used to be able to claim allowances, your withholding is now affected by your claimed dependents. If your spouse works or if you have multiple jobs, you can also list other adjustments such as deductions and other withholding. When you fill out your W-4, you're telling your employer how much to withhold from your pay. That's why you need to fill out a new W-4 anytime you start a new job or experience a big life change like a marriage or adoption of a child. What were tax allowances? A withholding allowance was like an exemption from paying a certain amount of income tax. So when you claimed an allowance, you'd essentially be telling your employer and the government that you qualified not to pay a certain amount of tax. If you were to have claimed zero allowances, your employment would have held the maximum amount possible. If you didn't claim enough allowances, you overpaid your taxes throughout the year and ended up with a tax refund come tax season. If you claimed too many allowances, you probably ended up owing the IRS money. So you got to get this one right as well. The bottom line, tax allowances were an important part of helping people reduce or increase the size of their paychecks. While they don't exist on W-4 anymore, it's still very possible to affect the size of your paychecks by claiming additional withholding or deductions. Less withholding also means a bigger paycheck. The government really wants you to be at zero. They do not want to owe you a lot of money. They don't want you to owe them a lot of money. That is their whole focus. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1037. 1-990-800-306-1990. Or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.